70% of Fortune 500 companies have already adopted Microsoft Copilot. And if you don't know what that means for your job yet, this video is for you. How many times today have you done something on your computer that you've done 100 times before? Copy-paste something from one application, paste it into another, send a follow-up email, and write a summary of the meeting that just ended. Probably more times than you can count. And this repetitive work kills your day slowly. That's exactly what we are talking about fixing today. Agentic AI using Microsoft Copilot. In this video, we will start with what Agentic AI means and how Copilot fits into it. Then we will walk through the setup. From there, we will go through 3 live demos using an actual e-commerce redesign project where we'll see Copilot handle a project update, connect across 4 different platforms, and adapt when something changes midweek. So you can exactly see how it works in the practice. We'll also cover the advanced features, the common mistakes people make, and finally where all of this is used across industries. Also, quick information. If you want to learn more about Agentic AI Copilot, then this professional certificate program in Gen AI, machine learning, and intelligent automation from IHFC Technology Innovation Hub of IIT Delhi, powered by Simplilearn, is exactly where you should go next. It is an 11-month live online program that takes you from the fundamentals all the way through advanced generative AI, machine learning, deep learning, and intelligent automation. With hands-on learning across 20 plus AI tools, 12 plus real projects, and over 165 guided exercises. You also get access to a dedicated masterclass on Agentic AI, which goes much deeper into everything we touched on today. And it's not just a certificate. You get a 2-day campus immersion at IIT Delhi, IHFC Executive Club status, and a chance to be considered for startup incubation. So if this is something you're serious about, then the link is in the description below. Do check it out. So before we get started, let me ask you a quick question. What makes Agentic AI different from a regular AI chatbot? Your options are A. It gives longer responses. B. It can set goals and execute tasks on its own. C. It only works with Microsoft tools. And D. It requires coding to set up. Leave your answers in the comments below. Now, let's get started. So, a Microsoft Copilot is an AI-powered assistant that can help you be more productive and creative by providing real-time support, suggestions, and guidance. Agents are specialized AI tools built to handle the specific process or solve business challenges. You've probably used AI tools before. You type something, it replies, you type it again, it replies again. So you're basically doing the whole thing set up step by step. Agentic AI is different. You give it a goal and it figures out the steps on its own. It sets its own goals, executes them in order, checks if things went the way they should, and it adjusts when they don't, without you being there for every step, because it is already inside the tools most people use for every single day. Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, SharePoint. It's not a separate application you need to open. It's just there in your system. And what makes it genuinely useful for agentic work is that it can move across all these apps together, pulling from one, writing to another, connecting to outside tools, etc. No code and scripts needed, just you describing what you actually need. That's about Copilot. So without any further ado, let's get started and understand how it actually works. So the main place you will use it for agentic AI is Microsoft 365. That's Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, SharePoint. If you're a developer, there's also a GitHub Copilot inside VS Code, which operates a bit differently, but it has same idea. And then there's Copilot Studio. That's where you go when you want to build something or custom your own agent with your own rules. If you're setting up GitHub Copilot in VS Code, go to the extensions tab, search for it, install it, and sign in with the GitHub. Alright, so now let's understand what an agent does. The core capability that makes Copilot feel agentic, not just a chatbot, is multi-step task execution. It doesn't do one thing and stop. It understands what actions to perform together based on one instruction from you. So before this, automating your work meant either learning to code or convincing someone else to do it for you. Most people just gave up and kept doing things manually. Copilot removes that. You don't need to know what macro is. You don't need to build a flow. You just say what you need out loud and it gets done. So now let's get into the demo part and understand how Microsoft 365 Copilot actually works. So let's build a project management workflow where it will ease our work that will just take 2 minutes of time instead of taking 2 hours. So this is how it works. You can log into the Copilot with your credentials, and this is how the webpage looks like. So in the sidebar, you'll be having many options, and you can click on Create Agent, and this is how it looks like. So Microsoft Copilot also has a inbuilt assistance that you can go to and look for it, such as Prompt Coach, where it will guide you how to write the prompts and visualize your outputs. There is an idea coach where it will give you different ideas based on the topic that you need. And then there's career coach you can visit if you want any career related prompts or anything, or you want to build something related to career. So we have to fill all these details for our agent to work. Let's name our agent as project management. So let's give this as a description because This is how it works. So it is an intelligent project management agent. It is designed to automate the day-to-day operations of running a project. So we are providing the tasks, monitors, deadlines, and flags, overdue, blockers. Everything is given in a duplicate data, and that we feed it to the Microsoft Copilot, and we are giving it in the description that you have to go through all these and give us the summary of everything. Instead of dumping everything at once, we have to give it everything step by step, and so that it will actually understand how it will actually work. So I've written down the instruction that we have to give there. So this is how it works. You are a project pilot. We are telling the agent how it should work like. So you are a project pilot and you are intelligent project management assistant for the e-commerce website, and you have full knowledge on all this data, and you have to give the summary. So suppose if we give a prompt to give us the daily stand-up summary, so it will list all the completed tasks, progress tasks, and overdues, blockers, everything in just few seconds, and gives us the whole update on the team. So we are basically giving the prompt in such a way that whatever prompt that we give, it should analyze it accordingly and give the answers. So suppose we give a prompt regarding the blocker escalation, like what are the blockers in the project. So it will analyze this data, that is this identify of the blocked task and assignee, describe the blocker clearly. All these points will be given in the instructions. So it will go through all these instructions and give us the answers. So these are the all things we're giving it as an instruction: deadlines, task assignments, meeting agenda, weekly status reports, everything. So now we have given the instructions. So in the knowledge, we have to add a duplicate data. So I have saved a duplicate data here. So basically, this is a project about the e-commerce website redesign, and these are the team members, and this is about the project. The project manager is Sarah, and the start date, deadline, current status, everything is given here. And these are the team members and what they are assigned to work on. So these are the tasks. That is, Priya has to work on the homepage wireframes, and the due date that she has to submit is on 10th March 2026. So she has completed this task. So it's about all these things. All the tasks are given here. And the milestones the team has to achieve by these dates, such as 20th March, 5th April, all these dates. So whenever we work on a project, there also be risks or blockers. So that also are mentioned here, so that the agent clearly understand what are the risks and how it will actually work. And these are the stakeholders that the project manager will report to. So once we have all this data, we then publish it, so that we'll have to get the link. So we have to publish to web. This is the link. And then we have to go to and paste the link here. So now here you will add example prompts that you want the agent to work on. Such as, for example, we can write a prompt and give the title to it. So in the right side, we have a preview of what our agent looks like. So we have named it as project management, and this is the description. And these are the prompts that we have given. So here in the right side, we'll be having an agent preview, and we can see how the instructions that we've given it works on. So I've given a prompt in such a way that create a meeting agent for tomorrow's project review, and it has analyzed the instruction that we have given it, and it has created an agenda. So date, duration, purpose, and what all the topics that should be covered on. So now we can create our agent. So this is our project management agent. Now we can test it. There's a basic question to understand if the agent has understood the instructions or the knowledge that we have given it. So I just asked who is responsible for testing in this project. So it is provided in the duplicate data that we've provided. So Priya Nair is responsible for the testing, and here it is given as that. It also has a predefined questions that we can, follow-up questions that we can ask. So it has given us the current status of the project that we're working on. So the functional testing that is in progress, and the testing that is not started, and the overdue or started, everything is given. Blockers, and if the project is safe or at risk, etc. We can work on different prompts as well. So now I have written the prompt in such a way that the agent should summarize the current status of the task, and it should highlight anything that is overdue or blocked, or update the tracker, and then send a message to the stakeholders. So now let's see. It will not update the tracker in SharePoint because we have not given the access. If you want to implement it in real life, you can give the access to SharePoint, Cloud, Microsoft, Excel, everything. So it will fetch the data and do it in real time. It will send the messages in Teams or mail, etc. As I mentioned, it will not summarize it and send it in real time. So now it has given us the completed tasks, that is, in the data that we've provided, only home design page and product listing UI and checkout workflow design, all these tasks have been completed thoroughly. And the functional testing is 70% completed. That was assigned to Priya Sharma. And these are the things that have not started and overdue current blockers and overall project health. So basically, all these things would take 1 hour or 2 hours for the project manager to understand and to mention it to the stakeholders. But because of the agent that we've built, it's just 2 seconds away because we've just given it the prompt and it generated in just 2 seconds. So it'll save a lot of time to the project managers and project leads. So it has given us updated status tracker in a table format. We can copy paste in an Excel and then share it with our team leads or team members and stakeholders. So basically, these are the tasks names and the assignees and the tasks that have been assigned to and due date, status, etc. So all these have been started, in progress, overdue, or any blockers that are there, etc. It has also generated the email that is ready to send. So here's the latest project status update for our project. And we can also ask it to generate a weekly status report. So basically, this is a weekly status report. 8 tasks have been completed and 2 are in progress. 3 have been completed, 2 have not started. So this is the summary. And accomplishments are these. 3 of them are completed and it is truly slide behind the schedule. So we've got all the information in just within few seconds. This is a brilliant agent that will work on, because basically this will take like 1 to 1 hour to contact with all the team members and understand if they've been started or in progress or anything. But here we just fed the data to the agent and it is just providing us the output in just within seconds. So this is the second demo, that is handling change. So we are working on the second demo, that is handling the change through the mid task. So the prompt is written in such a way that, so this is the prompt that we're working on for the second demo, that is connecting through multiple platforms. So if this works in real time, so this basically we've written a prompt in such a way that we have to pull the task status. The agent has to pull the task status from the website and design the project tracker and create a PowerPoint presentation and should show us what is delayed and what is at risk and post it on the channel in Teams. So it has also created a presentation for us. So basically, these are the tasks that have been done and these are delayed and this is at risk. So it also created a PPT for us. So now let's go to our third demo and understand handling the changes in mid-task. So when we see the task for data here that was assigned to Ravi Kumar, here the status is overdue. That is, the task is integrated the payment gateway. Now let's see that the task has been updated. That is, the task has been completed and the agent has to update it in the sheet. So now let's do that. So we've written that the payment gateway blocker is cleared and we have to update it in the status to in progress, regenerated accordingly. So also updated, and before we saw that the project status was at risk, now it is updated as improving, and it also changed the summary of the project accordingly. So before in this table it was written as overdue, but now it is written as blocker cleared. So it also changed the project summary accordingly and the status accordingly. So now task has been changed from overdue to improving. So basically, when we've written this prompt, it just finds a task 4 in this report and it updates the status, it removes the blocker note and it recalculates the risk section. So before it was at high risk, so it updates that and it reflects the blocker accordingly and it has been cleared now. Now here's what I want you to notice. None of these were complicated prompts. You didn't just write the code. You just did not build a flow. You just describe what you needed the way you describe it to a colleague. And it just took minutes to generate the output, which would take hours. Since you've gotten comfortable with the basics, here's what you should understand next. The Copilot Studio. The Copilot Studio is where you go when built-in features aren't quite enough for what you need. You can build a custom agent from scratch and define what it does, what data it can access, what actions it is allowed to take, what personality it has when talking to people, all through a visual builder. For example, a customer service team builds a support agent. It handles tier 1 questions, looks up order details from an internal database, and only escalates to a human when it genuinely can't solve the issue. So here's a real example. A customer service team builds a support agent. It handles the tier 1 questions, looks up order details from an internal database, and it only escalates to a human when it genuinely can't solve the issue. Connecting to live data via APIs. Copilot can pull from external APIs through Power Platform, connectors, or direct plugin integrations. So what that means practically is that your agent is not working with yesterday's data. It can pull live inventory levels, real-time CRM records, current stock prices, and whatever is relevant. The next is monitoring what you're doing. This is the thing most people skip and then regret. Once you've got workflows running on your own, you need to actually watch them, especially in the first few weeks. Copilot Studio has built-in analytics, conversation logs, task completion rates, and failure points. So now let's talk about most of the mistakes that people make and how to avoid them. First is being too vague. The number one issue is this. People type handle my emails and then wonder why the output is so generic. Copilot needs context. Think of it like briefing someone new on your team. You would not say handle emails. You would say, I get about 20 emails a day, half are from my clients, flag anything that needs a response within 24 hours, and draft replies for the ones asking about the project status. If you provide specific instructions, you get specific result. The second is over-automating too fast. When you start working with Agentic AI, do not try to automate 15 things at once. Start small. Pick one workflow, make sure it works, then add more. If you try to automate everything at once and something goes wrong, you will have no idea where it went wrong. So let me give you 3 quick performance tips. First is break the complex tasks into logical steps when writing your own instructions. Do it step by step. It is clearer than one long run-on sentence. The second is use Copilot's memory features for recurring tasks. The more it knows about your patterns, the less you have to re-explain it. The third is always review your outputs before they go out externally, at least until you build real confidence in a specific workflow. So let's talk about privacy and the data. Be intentional about what you connect. Just because Copilot can access something doesn't mean it should. Follow your organization's data governance rules. Be transparent with your team about what's being automated, and never run sensitive personal data through an agent without proper authorization. Alright, now that you know what to do and what to avoid, let's now look at the bigger picture and see where all this is going. In education, the agents track the student progress, personalize learning paths, and handle the administrative work so teachers can actually teach. In the healthcare sector, scheduling, documentation, insurance pre-authorizations, etc. The paperwork that burns out clinical stuff. Agents handle that so the humans handle the patients. The third is the business operations broadly: finance, HR, procurement, and customer service. Now, if you want to learn more, Microsoft Learn has free courses specifically on Copilot and Copilot Studio, well-structured, regularly updated. The Microsoft tech community is where real people build real things, sharing what's working and what is not. And if you're a developer focused, the GitHub Copilot docs are constantly being updated as new capabilities come out. You can check it out. Okay, here's one thing I want you to take from this video. Agentic AI is not about replacing how you work. It's about removing the parts of your work that were never worth your time in the first place. The copy-pasting and the follow-up emails, the stand-up summaries, etc. Copilot is one of the more practical ways to get started with this right now. Not in some future version. You can start right now with tools most of you already have. If this was useful, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment below if there's a specific Copilot workflow you want us to walk through next. See you in the next one.